Oh, there's some nice defense. We saw Carlos Villa of Manitoba with the disc, and as he was jockeying for a throw, it was slapped out of his hand. And I'm assuming you can't do that because he got it back.
Yeah, so when the disc is in your hand, it's considered part of your body. So
Gotcha.
if they hit the disc, then it's a foul. As soon as it leaves the hands, then you can hit it all you want.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought it was maybe a great defensive play to have the eye hand to slap it out of the guy's hand. No, you told me
Well,
that
that's
you can't.
one of the differences, again, from basketball. You can't just hit it out of people's hands.
Yeah, gotcha. The long huck doesn't connect. Manitoba takes it back. And their 8-5 lead intact as they look for a little more. Derek Hatch dishes it off to Clemens Schwartz. Villa, far sideline, and now a toss into the end zone, floated up for Basher. He's got a couple today already, and that is another, his fourth, in fact. Brett Basher with the big body. The huck was in the right spot. The throw was nice. And Basher, big guy, he can just block out the defender really with his body.
That was a great read by Basher. The Winnipeg defender actually initially looked like he had a better position on the disc, and then just ran a little bit too far into Basher, and Basher just comes back and reads the disc properly and gets another goal.
Brett Basher, 4 times today he has scored for the University of Manitoba, who now have a 9-5 lead on their way to 15. That is how you win a game of Ultimate. First team to score 15 in this tournament will be the winner and the champion of this tourney. And Manitoba in a pretty powerful position right now, 4 points ahead. And we're into the second half of play. Winnipeg needs to get on a little bit of a roll here. Sooner or later, they're going to have to score several points back to back to back. That becomes pretty challenging. The pull is going to go out of bounds. I saw one of the Manitoba players on the sidelines just jokingly saying, "No, that was in. That was in, guys. I saw it good. It was in. It's fine."
Yeah.
No.
There's no observers. It's in. Best perspective.
I know what I saw. I'm just not telling y'all what I saw. All right, Winnipeg with the disc. Gutkin. Heard a Liam called from the left side, and that was Nick Anerson who called Liam. And the throw was pretty good, but a terrific adjustment by Carlos Villa to get there in the nick of time. Oh, my bad. That was Steven Fedorkovich. Fedorkovich got there just as the disc arrived, and I thought Winnipeg had one.
Yeah, one of the hardest parts of Ultimate is patience, especially when you have a really excited receiver. It's kind of hard to rein those in.
Yeah.
And maybe that one, he didn't quite have enough space on his defender, and as we can see, the defender was able to close the gap pretty easily and get a piece of that one.
I'm sure you've played with those players who think they're a little more open than they are sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bobby! You are not open.
We're all guilty of it sometimes.
Oh,
You
sure.
think that you're open, and then there's a person right on your hip, and you're like, oh, didn't see her there.
I thought I was pretty super fast.
Yeah.
But I'm just sort of okay fast. Winnipeg trying again. Hildebrand got it up to Kalinowski on the far sideline. Come back in the middle, and it's a little low, and Tottle mostly would catch that, but he let it fall, and Manitoba back in business here, looking to get to the 10 mark on the scoreboard. Rich.
Manitoba didn't have any options downfield, so taking the veteran call and calling a timeout.
Ah, okay. What happened? He just stopped. It's like somebody turned off the power. Nothing there. Getting high in the count. How many timeouts do you generally get in an Ultimate tournament?
This tournament, you get 1 per half.
Okay.
It's kind of depends on the tournament. Sometimes they'll give you 2 per half, or they'll give you 1 per half and a floater. So if you don't use it in the first half, then you can use it in the second. All just depends on the tournament.
Yeah. So the timeout was called. An opportunity for the teams not only to refresh themselves just a little, not like you need a lot of water on a cool day like this, but you got to be careful. More than anything, I think this is a chance for Winnipeg to talk with their entire team all at once, the offensive specialists and the defensive players, and a chance to talk a little bit about what they need to do because they're down by 4. Got their work cut out for them.
They definitely do, and if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to figure out how to stop Manitoba here.
Is there anything you can do offense or defensively when you're trailing and it's starting to get a little late in the game? What kind of maneuvers might a team employ?
Well, there's lots of different defenses that you can try. Lots of times in the end zone like this, teams will what we call sandwich. So they'll have someone kind of camping out on both the open side and the break side. So no matter where the person cuts, there's still someone there. It can work really well sometimes as long as you communicate. And it can also backfire pretty spectacular as well. But
like any desperation
yeah.
plays, it's sometimes, yeah.
So Winnipeg is going to have to play some really, we call it person defense. They'll have to stick tight if they want to take this away from Manitoba. And then once they get the disc back, they're just going to have to be really smart with it. We can see their good pressure there. The one Winnipeg defender kind of peeled off of his and added that extra defender onto the Manitoba person. So this is their chance to get back in this game. Oh, great grab there.
They weren't exactly following your advice about patience on offense, but Toddle put it up and Gutkin brought it down. That was terrific. And Winnipeg still has the disc. Wow, that is the way to do it. Hard, low slice to Kalinowski, and he's got it. Winnipeg scores.
Yeah, great job by Winnipeg there. That was an awesome catch downfield. It was floating. There was like quite a bit of pressure on him and able to bring it in. And there we see the defensive pressure from Winnipeg that caused the turnover, and then the great grab to save that possession and the shot into the end zone for the score.
That can't be easy to snag one that's thrown with that velocity. I mean, that's coming in there hot. But it's caught. Kalinowski has a couple today for the Winnipeg side, as the advantage now just 3 points for Manitoba, and Manitoba will get the disc back.
So Winnipeg now, this is kind of their opportunity. They need a break here. They're going to have to play some really tight defense, put a lot of pressure on Manitoba. We can see both teams have been electing to kind of poach off of that side handler and hang out in the open lane. So we'll see if Winnipeg continues to do that to try and force them to throw it into the poach.
You can hear somebody yelling, "Wizard, wizard." They're calling out plays, offensive plays, or they could have been defense. I'm not really sure, but a lot of communication required in this sport during the play.
Yeah, so it looks like Winnipeg is doing some switching as well on the cutters. So when one cutter runs towards the disc, the defender that's closest to the disc will switch and pick them up.
Well done. Wow, look at that nice shot down the sidelines and curved it in just so. And a good little basketball celebration in the end zone as Lachlan Roche was the recipient of the end zone toss, making it 10-6 for Manitoba. Nice little forehand feed right down the sideline, curving it around the defender and into Roche.
Yeah, perfect throw from Manitoba there. Winnipeg was doing a great job of taking away Manitoba's unders. As we said, they were doing some switching, lots of great communication, but then one of the Manitoba receivers just managed to break free, and then perfect put from Manitoba to get that score.
And they are now at 10-6.
3, 2, 1.
So the pull is off and it's caught, and that allows Winnipeg to get it moving real quick. Into the middle, Hildebrandt has it, and we've got it. Infraction of some sort, turned back to Toddle, and they'll reset.
It's like they called a travel. So I think there's been a couple travels called on him so far today. So as we said, these players know each other really well and know their tendencies, so that might have been one of the things that Manitoba had their eyes open for.
Toddle dropped it back. It's Liam Gutkin with it. Toddle has it again. Oh, in and out of the hands of Einerson, who probably should have had that one. And real quickly now it's going the other way. Long toss and a nice catch falling down is Jaden Rich. Not quite, or was he? They're trying to decide whether that's a score or not, and they're going to give it to him.
Looks like they're calling it a score. Great transition by Manitoba there right after this turnover here. Just immediately takes off and one shot into the end zone. Bit of a tricky throw there over top of the defense, but manages to hang on and was in the end zone.
Jaden Rich came down with it. The nice toss that you described was from Carlos Villa, who's been pretty solid today, setting up with the great throws, and it's 11-6 now, and 5 points separates these two teams. Winnipeg is going to have to go into desperation mode now, it seems.
Yeah, pretty commanding lead from Manitoba. They're going to have to... It'd be pretty miraculous if Winnipeg came back and won this game, but we've definitely seen it before, but they are going to have to force some Manitoba turnovers. But the Manitoba team has just looked very clean and confident throughout this entire game. They haven't made a lot of mistakes, whereas on the other side, Winnipeg, we've seen a couple drops, a couple throwaways, and that's really just been the difference.
There's Carlos Villa getting set. Comes the pull. It's going to drift its way out of bounds. A little bit of a breeze, but still not much of a factor. We've got pretty good conditions going here in the second half of this game. It seemed like it was going to be a cold and nasty day, but it's turned into a sunny afternoon in Saskatoon, and we're having a great time enjoying this championship. Manitoba having a little more fun right now than Winnipeg is, but here comes Jesse Casey and the Winnipeg team. Down low, Hildebrandt.
Being from the prairies, a little bit of breeze definitely does not affect us. We're used to playing in some pretty windy conditions, so this is really nothing to these players.
Kalinowski got it. Watch this feed. He was running and wide open by the time the toss came his way, but that was just a good heads-up play, knowing that they were going to have a shot if he got into the right spot. He took off before the man before him had the disc. Good anticipation, making it 11-7.
Well, that was exactly the kind of offense that Winnipeg needed to have if they want to get back in this game. It didn't really take them that long. It was nice and smooth, and now they're back on defense and have a chance to take it away from Manitoba.
Scored quick. Now, how can they score 2, maybe 3 times in a row? That is the problem. Toddle has it. He's just waiting for everybody on both sides to be ready. And here we go. They said that'll be out, and then wait a second, maybe not. No, it is. It's out. So Manitoba will set up again on offense with their 4-point lead and the disc. Looking to get to 15 and take home this championship.
Yeah, this is the position you want to be in an ultimate game. You're on offense, you're 4 points up, and all you really have to do is keep riding this game out. As long as you're perfect on offense, then you're going to end up winning the game.
I'm not going to spoiler alert it for those fans who would like to watch it, but we did also witness a women's championship game at this tournament, and it is available on Max TV Local On Demand. If you want to see the women's championship final, you'll find it. Manitoba set to go and on the offensive attack.
No, I don't want that. I don't
Look at that. Ryan McDonald not smiling anymore. He got too warm. Kimura drops it back to Eldridge. He'll slide it right through the middle to Paris. Paris to McDonald on the far side. Into the end zone and nicely carved around the defenders for another Manitoba score. And that was Lachlan Roche, who will get it for the second time in the end zone today. And Manitoba up to 12 now.
That was great offense from Manitoba. They really don't have to force anything. As we said, they are in the driver's seat. They just have to stay calm, take the open shots, and they had a nice, easy throw into the end zone.
You can almost, they're watching the Manitoba players as they come on and off the field from the sidelines, offense, defense, back and forth. They look very relaxed and really enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Having a nice day at the park. No pressure on them at all right now with a 5-point lead in the late stages of this championship match.
Yeah, we mentioned this in the other game too, but the University Series really is a lot of fun. We don't get to play outside all year round. There is indoor leagues, but it's nice to kind of extend that season. The 7-on-7 outdoor is really the most fun version of Ultimate, in my opinion. So even in Winnipeg, I'm sure they're happy to be here, just getting to play a little more Ultimate.
When you play indoors, would you play 5-on-5, or it would depend if it's a smaller venue? Do you sometimes play with fewer?
So there is also 4-on-4 nationals, which it's a little bit different of a game. It's much quicker and it's played on a smaller field, so some different tactics than the 7-on-7.
Is the 7-on-7 though? This is the one that the purists of the sport like the best.
Yeah, this is how it started.
Jordan Warren has it. Tottle, did he get there? Not quite, but that'll do it. Short toss from Tottle, and it's into the end zone for the score. Number 6 on the receiving end is Liam Gutkin, his second of the day, and it's 12-8.
Yeah, that was a great cut by Tottle there, but just had his foot right on the line, so had to bring it back to the line. But despite the defensive bid, they're still able to get the goal. And you can see they're kind of shaking hands and laughing at each other. I'm sure they've probably played either against each other or with each other quite a bit.
Jaden Rich was on coverage, and he ended up down. So Gutkin helping him up.
It's one of the great things about Ultimate, even if they haven't played with each other or knew each other, the spirit of the game is really a big part of it, and it's really great to see that expanding across the sport. There's always lots of high fives between teams and helping each other out, and the fair-mindedness and just the camaraderie is a big part of it.
Pull coming from right down along the near sideline. Manitoba will take it out of the air and get things going quickly. Stephen Crew is back there. Now it's up to McDonald on the right side. Binnon. Long shot for McDonald. He's got some space on the defender, and he's got it. Wow, that is a crazy, great long throw. And is he in the end zone with it?
Looks like
it looks like it, yeah.
Get another look at that catch.
Wow, just a